When I bought my dream property, a quiet ranch by the lake, I thought my life had finally slowed down. After years of working overtime, saving every dime, and chasing a dream everyone told me was impossible, I was ready for peace. The lake was calm, the trees swayed gently, and for the first time in years, I felt free. But that peace lasted less than 48 hours. Because the moment the HOA found out I was the new guy by the lake, they came storming in like they owned the place. No welcome to the neighborhood, no smiles, not even a handshake. Just 3 board members dressed like they were heading to a courtroom pounding on my door. I opened it, coffee in hand, still in my work boots, and before I could even say hello, one of them snapped. "We need to discuss the lake." I blinked. "The lake." "Yes," another said, her nose in the air. "You're required to grant access. It's HOA property." I nearly laughed. They didn't do their homework. The lake wasn't HOA land. It came with my ranch. I'd bought it fair and square. The water, the shoreline, the docks, every bit of it was mine. But the arrogance in their voices told me this wasn't a misunderstanding. This was a power play. When I calmly explained that, the tallest one jabbed a finger at my chest. "Listen here. Our members use that lake. Our members fish there. Our members hold events on those docks. You're not going to change that." Leaned against the doorframe, smiled, and asked, "So, you're saying you want to use my property without permission?" Her face turned red. "It's community property." "No," I said flatly. "It's private property." That's when the threats began. Letters, daily visits, even notices taped to my gate claiming I owed lake dues. But the funniest part? The HOA didn't realize the docks they'd been using for years. The very same ones they held their summer barbecues and fishing contests on. Weren't even on their land. They were mine. Every plank, every nail, every boat slip. I had the legal paperwork to prove it. So when they tried to flex their authority, I decided to flex something bigger. The truth. I sent them one polite letter, just one. In it, I attached the deed and a warning. Any use of the lake or docks without my permission would be considered trespassing. They ignored it. It's the very next weekend. I walked down to the water and found them setting up banners and grills for some HOA annual lake celebration. Neighbors were gathering, music was blasting, and there they were. It's acting like kings and queens on property they didn't own. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't argue. I just pulled out my phone and made one call. 10 minutes later, a county sheriff pulled up, lights flashing. The HOA froze, their burgers half cooked, their banners half hung. The sheriff walked over, asked me for the paperwork. I handed him the deed. He read it, nodded, and then turned to the HOA president. "Ma'am," he said, "you and your board are trespassing. Pack it up now." You should have seen their faces. Years of smug arrogance drained away in an instant. Stammered, argued, tried to pull out their HOA bylaws. But the sheriff cut them off cold. Bylaws don't trump property deeds. You step foot here again without permission, you're looking at criminal charges, neighbors whispered. Some laughed, others clapped. And me. I just stood there, sipping a cold drink, watching Karen and her crew dismantle their little party in total humiliation. That night, my phone buzzed non-stop with messages from neighbors thanking me. Turns out most of them hated the HOA too, but no one had ever stood up to them. And the cherry on top? From that day forward, every time HOA members wanted to use the lake, they had to knock on my door and ask politely. The docks they once claimed as their own? Now under lock and key? My locks? My keys? Funny how power shifts when the truth comes out. So, when the HOA stormed in demanding my lake, they had no idea they'd been standing on my property the whole time. And when I shattered their illusion of control, the look on their faces was worth every penny I spent buying this ranch. Because peace doesn't come from silence. It comes from standing your ground. And trust me, out here by my lake, peace has never been sweeter. If you enjoyed this story of HOA arrogance getting wrecked by cold, hard truth, hit that like button. Subscribe for more unbelievable real-life showdowns. And don't forget to share this with someone who loves a little justice served with a smile.